Usually, leaks this early are a bit sketchy. You know the type, some random guy on a forum sketching a phone on a napkin. But this time, the info we have is juicy, it's consistent, and honestly, it paints a picture of a phone that might actually be worth breaking the piggy bank for. So grab a coffee, sit back, and let's dive into the top 10 leaks that are painting the portrait of the iPhone 18 Pro. Let's kick things off with the face of the phone, literally. We are talking about the dynamic island. Remember when that launched and we all lost our minds over a pill-shaped cutout? Well, it's going on a diet. For the longest time, rumors were flying that Apple was going to shove the camera into the corner, like a throwback to 2015. But recent leaks have shut that down. The camera is staying dead center. However, the magic is happening underneath. Apple has reportedly teamed up with Samsung to use some next-level screen tech to hide the Face ID sensors under the display. This means the dynamic island is going to be significantly smaller. It's still there, it'll still expand when you get a notification or play music, but when you're watching a movie, it's going to be way less intrusive. Finally, you can watch your shows without a black pill cutting off the main character's forehead. Moving on to the body of the beast. If you liked the design of the iPhone 17 Pro, well, good news, it's mostly sticking around. But there is a twist. And it's a thick one. For years, Apple has been obsessed with making phones so thin they feel like they might snap in a stiff breeze. But the iPhone 18 Pro is rumored to be about half a millimeter thicker. Now, before you panic and think you're going to be carrying a brick, hold on. You won't even notice the difference in your hand. But you will notice it in your daily life, because that extra thickness is there to house a physically larger battery. Finally, we are trading a microscopic bit of thinness for actual, all-day, maybe even 2-day endurance. That is a trade I will take every single day of the week. Now, let's talk aesthetics, because you've got to look good while you're doom scrolling. The color palette for the Pro models is getting a total shakeup. Say goodbye to the boring silvers and that random orange we had. We are reportedly getting 3 stunning new options. First up, a deep, rich burgundy red. It's giving very fancy wine vibes. Then, we have a beige color, which sounds boring on paper, but it's being described as a coffee tone. Very chic. And lastly, a new purple. Not the deep purple of the 14, but lighter, somewhere in the middle. But here's the shocker, it looks like black is gone. That's right. If you're an emo kid at heart or you just like your electronics to look like Batman's gear, you might be out of luck this year. Apple is really pushing the colorful Pro aesthetic this time around. Okay, let's get to the main event. The cameras. This is where things get properly nerdy and exciting. Leak number 5 is a game changer. We are getting a variable aperture on the main lens. Now, if you aren't a camera geek, let me explain why this is huge. Imagine the pupil of your human eye. When it's bright, it gets small. When it's dark, it opens up wide. Phone cameras have always been stuck with one fixed opening. But the iPhone 18 Pro will actually have mechanical blades that open and close. This means in bright daylight, it can close down to keep everything in focus and sharp. But at night, it opens wide to suck in every photon of light. This isn't software trickery. This is real mechanical engineering, and it's going to make your photos look absolutely professional. But wait, the camera news gets spicier. For years, Apple has been best buddies with Sony for their camera sensors. But rumor has it, there's been a breakup. Apple is reportedly switching to a Samsung sensor for the main camera. We don't know the exact megapixel count yet. It could be that insane 200 megapixel monster Samsung uses, or a custom one. But regardless, switching manufacturers usually means a massive generational leap in quality. This isn't just a small tweak. This is a total overhaul of how the iPhone sees the world. Now let's slide over to the side of the phone. Remember that capture button introduced on the iPhone 16? The one everyone forgot to use? Well, Apple isn't giving up on it. Apparently, the old sensor was too expensive and hard to fix. So, they are redesigning it with a completely new sensor type. It should be more responsive, easier to repair, and hopefully, actually useful this time. Maybe they'll finally let us map it to order a pizza. Who knows? But the button remains. Now, let's talk about connectivity. And this is the one that has me the most hyped. For the first time, the Pro iPhone will ditch the Qualcomm modem for Apple's own custom-designed C2 communication chip. Apple has been trying to build this for a decade, and it's finally ready. This should bring better efficiency and tighter integration with the phone. But why does the C2 chip matter? Because of leak number 9, we are hearing reports of true 5G satellite data. We've had SOS via satellite for emergencies, sure, but this is next level. Imagine you are in the middle of the Sahara Desert, or hiking in the Amazon, or just stuck on a plane with terrible Wi-Fi. With the iPhone 18 Pro, you could theoretically browse the web, check emails, and maybe even doom scroll TikTok straight from a satellite connection. No cell towers needed. That is absolute freedom. It means dead zones could literally become a thing of the past. And finally, leak number 10. The brain of the operation. All of this tech needs a conductor, and that is the brand new A20 Pro chip. We are moving to a 2-nanometer process, built by TSMC. Now, in English, that means the transistors are getting impossibly small. Smaller transistors mean less distance for electricity to travel, which equals two things: blazing fast speed and way better energy efficiency. There were some worries about heat with these tiny chips, but remember that vapor chamber cooling system Apple added in the 17? That's going to work overtime to keep this thing frosty. So, you can expect this phone to handle gaming, video editing, and that fancy new camera without breaking a sweat. So, let's recap. We have got a smaller dynamic island, a thicker body for better battery, wild new colors, mechanical camera lenses, satellite internet, and the fastest chip on the planet. The iPhone 18 Pro isn't just a small update. It sounds like a greatest hits album of everything we have wanted for the last 5 years. But I want to know what you think. Is the variable aperture enough to make you upgrade? Or are you just excited to finally have a phone color that looks like coffee? Let me know down in the comments. And hey, if you enjoyed this deep dive, do me a huge favor. Smash that like button so the algorithm knows we exist, and hit subscribe so you don't miss the next leak. Until next time, keep your tech charged and I'll catch you in the next one.